Hey, it's Kat Carasello. I just wanted to pop in and let you know that the upcoming retreat in Austin is something that I am so excited about. For the very first time, we're going to have enough space to have many of us gathering, and this is such a treat to have more of us gathering than normally a large house or a villa can hold. So we have beautiful, spacious opportunity to really gather a circle of women. So I'm envisioning that we're going to be about 30 women gathering. Right now we have about 7 spaces left. And I wanted to pop in and share a little bit about my vision and what it takes to pull together a retreat. It's really a pleasure because the first thing I begin with is the location. The first thing I start with is the feeling of the land, the landscape, and what it can bring us. And I'm always looking for a mythic landscape. It's a part of my retreats that I've been leading for over 10 years, is that we're always going to be traveling to a mythic landscape, a landscape and an environment that holds more than can be seen. This particular landscape in the hill country outside of Austin, Texas, is absolutely exquisite. It's a family-owned property. It's used for events. They really have wonderful amenities and beautiful rooms and so well designed, but the land itself is just filled with love. One of the great features about Camp Lucy is that you're almost traveling into something that has been created to evoke your personal myth and your story. In fact, there's a real story of the buildings on this property because they've been built around ancient temples that were going to be discarded in Vietnam, and they brought them back here. They had them shipped, taken apart, numbered, put in a container, shipped over here, and then put back together. And all of the buildings have been built around churches, temples, and community dwellings, hundreds of years old, rich with history, rich with community. They brought in artisans and absolutely wonderful, specific buildings were then created externally to house the interiors of these wonderful temple spaces. And this is something I think really appeals to those of us who are coming together to intentionally do the work with circles of women, is that we want to create temple space. We want to create a place to experience something that lingers and lives within us long after we've left the retreat, that the whole experience is so rich, it's life-changing. So we're gathering for the Art and Soul Equinox retreat to do our own mythic, remembering our own renewal and invigoration, to shift our stories, to land in this time when we start to shift between seasons. And it's the perfect time to cultivate a greater sense of life, what's coming through you. The other thing about Camp Lucy that I am so excited about is that for the very first time, I've always had catering staff, but for the very first time, we have dawn to dusk catering, with every night offering an exquisite experience in a different place. We're going to have a dinner in a vineyard. We're going to have a candlelit dinner inside a chapel. We're going to have different experiences with one another. We're going to bring conversations to the creative process and expand on them. Not just with me as your teaching staff, but we're going to have intuitive movement from Switzerland. We're going to have art making from a facilitator in Colorado. We're going to have different voices in the mix, bringing different parts of your experience to the light. We're going to really light up our lives at this cusp of equinox, balancing the dark and the light. So many of us feel so many things. We're so wide open. You know, we do a lot of protecting to go through every day. And there might be shifts that you're experiencing in your life, and you feel like, I am so ready to have lived experience in retreat and really deeply experience renewal. This is the revolution to infuse love in everything you do. And this retreat, this Art and Soul Equinox retreat, is all about the balance of seeking enlivened love in our lives, that we become the source. So we're going to practice that every single day of this retreat. There are only 7 spaces left, so I wanted to give you a little more of how much love goes into the creating and the curating, that this retreat is entirely different than any that I've ever offered. And a lot of women who've retreated with me are coming. It's very, very exciting. So I want to open up and share a little bit more about how much is going to be offered and gifted to you in September. So September 24th to 28th, 5-day retreat in Austin. We have single rooms, shared rooms, absolutely amazing experience waiting for you. Come join us, have fun, express all that is waiting to be discovered.